Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. We're going to be talking about base makeup, perfecting it, things that you can do, tips and tricks, brushes, all this kind of stuff. And I know a lot of you who watch my videos, you're already really, experienced with your makeup and you already know the sort of products you like. But sometimes it's just nice to break it down, do a little bit of a makeup 101, back to basics and just kind of refresh our brain a little bit. Hopefully this video can inspire some of you. So let's go. First things first, this is skin prep. Okay, skin prep is super important. To ensure your makeup looks nice, we need to ensure that the skin is in its best possible condition as what we can get it as. Think of it as a canvas, you're priming it so you can put the paint on after. A lot of the time genetics do play a part with how your skin is, and me personally, I'm someone who suffers with severe skin reactions, like severe. I actually have done a video on this if you want to go and check it out, and I spoke about the dermatologist I went to, how the products helped clear my skin up, and then I also speak about the products that I've been using in that routine. I think it was maybe over a year ago now, I done the ultimate sort of bride or wedding makeup, and in this video I mentioned that before I'll do anyone's makeup, I'll go in with a micellar water and just make sure I remove any residue on the skin, because naturally, of course, your skin is producing its own natural oils, and I just wanted to make sure everything's nice and prepped. So that is something I also do whenever I've done makeup in the past. This just ensures that you're getting the best results from your products. Because you know your skin and you know the sort of skin type you have, this will then help you decide on a primer that you want. So look in the mirror and look at your face and think, okay, cool, now what do I want to conceal? What do I want to enhance? Is it my texture? Is it discoloration? What are the things that you would like to work on to perfect your base? Then this will help decide what sort of foundation and primer you need. I've got a selection of primers that I want to share with you because they all have their own reasons as to why they are in this video. If you want a really gorgeous glow and you want your skin to look radiant and just gorgeous, these two are really, really good for that. This is MAC Strobe Cream. This comes in a whole bunch of different colors now. And then of course you've got the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, which I have spoke about in so many videos and in my recent monthly favorites full face video. Ooh, Lord. If you just want to glow and have radiant, gorgeous skin, I recommend this for everyone, even my oily skin babes. If you have oily skin, all you have to do to use these products is just apply it on the areas that you want to look hydrated and you don't get too oily. So, just avoid the T-zone or around the nose and the chin. So yes, these ones are great for giving your skin that radiant, gorgeous glow. By the way, I will actually be putting makeup on myself, but I just wanted to cover certain primers and products so that I don't miss anybody out. Regardless of whatever skin type you have, she has, he has, or whatever, hopefully I can try and, cater to everyone, basically. For my guys and girls that are working really long days, or you're going out for a night out, or you have to wear makeup for a long period of time, air hostess, stuff like this, this primer here is really, really great for that. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So when this dries down, it gives you a little bit of a sticky sort of feeling. This is great for the foundation to latch onto that and really ensure your makeup is going to last hours and hours. Benefit Professional Primer, they also have a pearl version of this and a matte one. My favorite is actually the pearl one because I find it's not as drying as this one here. But either way, they're really good products, especially if you have slight fine lines or a little bit of texture that you want to sort out. If you have any sort of smile lines around here, or any sort of lines underneath the eyes, or any sort of lines around the crow's feet area, a nice thin amount is always best with this, so don't overdo it, otherwise it really can disturb the foundation. Sometimes primers can actually create more of an issue than what they're meant to do, so just remember to keep it nice and thin. And with something like this, do not apply it all over your face because you don't really need it all over your face. Just apply this in the main area. So when I used to use this, I'd apply it mainly in this sort of area here where my pores are, and then around the chin and the fine lines. So it'd be like this sort of section here. The primer I'm going to be using is this one here. This is by Smashbox, and this is the Primerizer. This is basically like a moisturizer and primer in one. When I did a masterclass with Sir John, who is Beyonce's makeup artist amongst many other celebrities, not just Beyonce, he does loads of other celebrities, he actually said that before he goes in with a foundation, he likes to just whack some moisturizer all over the skin and then go straight in. He doesn't let it sink in, he goes straight in, because then he feels like it just absorbs so much nicer into the skin and looks radiant and healthy and just natural. I did actually do that technique for quite a long time, and it is really, really gorgeous and I do love it. And then I found that this primer here is just gorgeous for creating that really nice base, and it doesn't disturb the foundation too much. As I mentioned, you've got to take into consideration what sort of foundation you are using. This also has hyaluronic acid in it, which of course we know is really great for plumping the skin. And I just find that this doesn't disturb my makeup too much. If I am going out on a night out and I want it to last, then I'll use the milk one. I'm just gonna take 3 little pumps. That's how much there is. And I'm just gonna pop this everywhere, especially around the nose and also onto my chin. This is where I have a lot of breakouts right now. I'm gonna show you 3 foundations. I cannot go through all the foundations that there is because honestly it depends on your skin type and your skin needs as to what foundation you're going to use. Foundation is very much to your individual taste. 2, I'll buy Charlotte Tilbury because that's definitely up there with my top 5 sort of makeup brands. And the other one is a really OG product for me. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is really loved by so many people as well. Like a lot of people love this foundation, and this is what I'll use if I am going on a night out or if I've got a long day ahead and I want a little bit of full coverage. Same goes for the Magic foundation. When I need a little bit more full coverage, I'll go for these 2. Or if I'm wearing something day to day and my skin is actually in a decent place, then I will use the Light Wonder foundation because I just find this is a really gorgeous buildable foundation. I can always rely on these to give me a good job. Now, because we use the primerizer, I am actually going to use the Light Wonder foundation for the purpose of this video, and I will use a high coverage concealer. Your tool is just as important as your product, and what I mean by that is your brushes or the tool you like to use to apply your makeup. Now, I had a DM asking me if I could share like my favorite makeup brushes, and I just thought, where I've done this sort of like bringing it back to basics, like 101 video, I thought I'd share with you my favorite brushes for foundation in this video. This is the Smashbox blurring foundation brush. Okay, all mine need a wash, don't judge me. And this is one of my favorite brushes for applying my foundation, my cream products. The sort of dome shape is amazing. You've got a nice amount of movement, so it really buffs it out, but it also has a little bit of sturdiness. This honestly is probably my favorite brush for applying my foundation ever. Then to go with that, we've got another Smashbox brush. This is the Cream Cheek. Yes, Cream Cheek brush. I think this one is amazing for blending out contour because it's really nice and small, and then it's also really good for setting your under eye or blending out that concealer. Then you've got other options like these. This one is by Iconic London and it's a flat top brush, and these are really, really popular. Sigma do a really good one, which is the F80, I want to say, and that one I absolutely love as well, but I'm just showing you this one because this is just what I've been recently using. Any sort of flat top kabuki is really nice dense brush to help stipple that product on. And then of course you have a duo fiber brush, which is this one here. Kind of looks a little bit like a skunk, where you got the 2-tone colors, the white and the black, and this is a really great brush. Everyone should have a duo fiber brush in their kit, in their makeup collection, whatever. You need a duo fiber brush. The reason being is this is really good for making foundation look so skin-like and airbrush. You can really buff it onto the skin, especially something like MAC Face and Body. You can use this with powder products and creams. Duo fiber brushes are really, really good, and this one is by Sigma and this is the F90. I was going to use my flat top kabuki, but because I've just hyped this one up so much, I think I'm going to use my duo fiber. Do I use my duo fiber? Let's do duo fiber. I've given this a little shake. I'm just going to do one side of my cheek. I start off with downward strokes in the way that the hair grows naturally on your face. Sounds weird to say hair, but you know, we have got tiny hair everywhere like that. And then I can buff this in. If you get any streaks with the duo fiber brush, you just lightly go around in circular motion. With your duo fiber brush, if you want to build up that coverage, just go around doing this stippling motion as you can see me doing here. If you do have dry skin, then it probably would be best to avoid this brush because this can disturb it a little bit. So if you do have dry skin, I would recommend going in with the flat brush. That way you can just press the skin on. If your skin's dry and you go and disturb the surface, then it can actually make the dry skin look risen and more flaky. So just bear that in mind. Regardless to how good your match is, always bring your foundation on that jawline, underneath that jaw, and blend that down. This is such an easy mistake that a lot of us can make. And if you are wearing a foundation that is a little bit darker or lighter, make sure you bring that up and go onto the ear. The ear can be such a giveaway. If you have used a fuller coverage foundation, then I would recommend going in with a beauty sponge on top just to press that in and make that look extremely skin-like. I don't really need to do it with this foundation because it's so light. However, I do like to just go over when I really want to ensure it looks like skin, you know, as flawless as I can get it. If you suffer with any sort of discoloration, then you can go in with a corrector. And although I don't really like my under eye bags, I feel like the concealer that I use does a really good job at covering those anyway. My concealer of choice is this one here. This is insane. This concealer is so good, guys, like so good. So creamy, it doesn't dry out fast, it's got high coverage. This is the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. I use the shade Warm Beige. I do actually change my shade, of course, depending on the time of the year. But right now, because I'm not super tanned, this would be the shade that I'm using. You can go with a concealer that is brighter for your under eye, but I wouldn't recommend going in too bright. Sometimes I like to go in with more a color that matches my skin, and then if I want to, I can take a lighter concealer and just do little dabs and brighten up those areas. But you'll see the color of this is brighter, but not too bright. So I've just gone from the corner down the side of the nose here. And then I'm going to apply some onto my chin so that I can blend that out into the spots, but then I will have to wipe this before I put it back. Blend this out, you can use a fluffy brush, but I'm going to go in with a super small little beauty sponge like this. I find this just gets into all the little nooks and crannies and little lines and stuff, and I just feel like this does such a good job, these little sponges. Sometimes I'll use a brush, sometimes I don't, but when I want it to look super flawless, this is what I will go for. And we're just going to be pressing that into the skin, small little dabs here and there. This is what we're working with right now, but I need to set this in place before any lines and creasing happen. So I'm going to take a loose powder. Honestly, this is one of the best powders I've ever used. It doesn't leave an overcast on the skin. It doesn't dry down too fast, and I just think it's definitely one of the best. So we're going to pick up the product using the damp sponge. This just helps everything look a lot more flawless, and it doesn't dry it out so much. So I'm trying to pat that into the product. Before you go in with this, just make sure there is no creasing. So I can see there's no creasing on my under eye, so I'm fine. If there is, just blend that out before you go and set this in place. So then I'm just really pressing this into the skin first of all. This part is optional and definitely not needed, but it's just something I like to do. I like to bake just along my nose and then underneath my eye. Then what I like to do is I'll grab a setting powder just like this, swirl my brush in there, and then buff off any baking powder. This will help ensure that there is no overcast left. Of course, this is a setting powder, so I would use this all over the face normally, or in the areas that I needed to. In the center of the forehead, just to make sure that I don't get shiny there. I've zoomed you in just to show you how that looks, okay? So in general speaking, I will put my setting spray last. The only time I'll ever do my setting spray on top of my foundation and then put a setting spray at the end is in summertime, when my skin like just separates everything. So this is obviously what we're working with right now, and I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup just to give you a full effect on camera, zoom you in and all that good stuff. So let me go put the rest of my face on right now. Me again. Hi. Now I'm going to apply my setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is an OG product. It's been around for so many years now, and I think this and the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray are two of my like favorites. Whenever you spray your face with setting spray, don't move your face straight away after. Let it dry before you know, start to be expressionate again. Otherwise it can create like lines and stuff. Let's have a staring competition. Oh, who won? Me or you? No, I'm smiling. Now that my face is dry, I'm gonna zoom in and give you guys a close-up shot of how the makeup looks. I feel like it still looks like skin. In my opinion, I don't think it looks cakey at all. I mean, some of you guys may disagree, but I feel like this just looks like a better version of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look a lot better compared to what I did in the beginning of the video. There's no redness on the chin anymore, and the concealer added a really nice high coverage underneath the eyes. A few little things that I wanted to mention before we wrap this video up. Remember, you need to ensure skin prep is done. It's super important. Pick a primer that is suitable towards your skin and what you need it for. If you don't need a primer for anything, don't feel like you have to use it. You can go straight in with the foundation, and make sure you pick a foundation based on what you need it for that day. You know, if you need the full coverage, you need it to be mattified, or you want radiance. Remember to bear these things in mind, and then your tool, pick your tool according to the foundation and the result that you want. As I mentioned, if you are using a duo fiber or something quite fluffy, you don't want to irritate the dry skin and make it look flaky. So something which is flat that you can press into the skin would probably work a whole lot better. So just bear those things in mind when creating your base so that you can perfect it for you. I do hope some way, shape or form this video has been beneficial for you. I'm not like the most amazing makeup artist out there. No, I'm not. There are some incredibly talented people who do amazing makeup. I just want to share with you some tips and tricks that I have picked up along the way through doing courses, masterclasses, for experience, all these things. And if there's any other videos that you would like me to do similar to this one, then comment down below because I'll be replying to every single comment. And please don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up because it just lets me know that you enjoyed it, and it's free. You haven't got to pay for anything, so give it a little click. Also click the bell if you haven't, because I'm uploading twice a week right now. I'm on a rolling, rolling on the river. Here's my Instagram on the screen if you'd like to follow it as well. And that is everything, ladies and gents. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until my next one, stay safe, stay blessed, stay positive, all those good vibes, and I'll see you lovely lot in my next video. Bye.